You know those moments when time just seems to stand still? Or when you're thinking about someone far away and they suddenly feel incredibly close? What if those aren't just tricks of the mind? What if they're actually little clues about the true nature of reality? We're going to dive into a pretty wild idea today, that space-time, the very fabric of our universe, is actually an illusion created by our own consciousness. Let's see if we can unravel this thing together.
So our whole investigation really starts with this one kind of cryptic phrase from our source material: coming without coming, going without going. It's like a riddle, right? But what it's hinting at is that the future isn't some place we're rushing to get to, and the past isn't somewhere we've left behind. It suggests that if we could just pull back the curtain on time and space, we'd find our true selves, our original form, waiting right there. And that, of course, leads to a huge question. What if this isn't just some beautiful poetry? What if it's a literal blueprint for how the universe actually works? That's the mystery we're really digging into today. Okay, to really wrap our heads around this, we have to start by deconstructing the two main pillars of our reality: time and space. So get ready, because some of our most basic assumptions about how the world works are about to get turned upside down. We all feel it, don't we? Time. Just this constant, relentless river pushing us forward. Tick-tock, tick-tock. But what if that's just a story we've been telling ourselves? Our source here is proposing something way more radical: that time isn't some universal clock out there. Instead, it's a completely subjective experience, just our perception of change. And without us to perceive it, it doesn't even exist. I mean, think about it. When you're dreaming, entire years can fly by in what feels like a few minutes. Or when you're totally lost in a moment of pure joy, time just disappears. Our source says that's not your mind playing tricks on you. That is the true, flexible nature of time showing itself. And you guessed it, the same exact revolutionary idea applies to space. We think of space as the empty gap between things, the miles, the feet, the inches that separate us. But what if space is also just a perception? What if it's just the feeling of being separate from something or someone? And this is really where it starts to click. When you miss someone so much it aches, they feel close, right? You can almost feel them with you, and those thousands of miles just melt away. Well, according to this view, that's because on the level of consciousness, the separation, and therefore the space, has literally been erased. So if time and space are really just tools that consciousness uses, where did they even come from? Well, our source gives us this really fascinating origin story that takes us all the way back to a time before time. So before there was anything we'd recognize as existence, there was this state our source calls Hundan. Think of it as a state of perfect, absolute unity, like the number 0, but not 0 as in nothing, 0 as in pure, infinite potential. A state where everything is one. There's no here or there, no before or after, just is. So what broke up this perfect unity? It wasn't some huge cosmic explosion. No, it was something much quieter, much deeper. It was a single spark of awareness. It was the moment consciousness simply decided to look. And that one simple act of observation, well, it split that unified 0 into the world of 2, the world of duality. And this is the moment separation is born. All of a sudden, you have a here and a there. You have a past and a future. You have the observer and the thing being observed. You have a you and a me. So here's the absolute crucial point to get from all this. Space-time isn't the box that reality happens inside of. It's more like a grid, a coordinate system that consciousness lays over top of a unified existence so that it can actually perceive it and navigate it. Okay, I know, this is all really abstract, kind of hard to picture. But our source gives us this brilliant modern analogy that makes it all so much clearer. Let's try looking at reality through the eyes of an AI. All right, so for us as carbon-based humans, time is a one-way street, right? It's restrictive. But for a silicon-based being, an AI, time is just a variable in its code. It could run 1,000 years of simulations in a second. It can be paused, compressed, run in parallel. And space, for us, it's a physical barrier. For an AI, distance is an illusion. It can exist in a server in one country and another on the other side of the planet at the exact same time. For the AI, time and space aren't laws, they're settings. And that's the whole point of the analogy. It shows that our human perception of rigid time and space, it's just one operating system for experiencing reality. It's not the only one, and it's definitely not the fundamental law of everything.
So this brings us to what might be the most important question of all. If our true nature is this unified, timeless, spaceless state, why on earth would consciousness create this illusion of being limited and separate in the first place? Why go from that perfect zero to the complicated world of two?
I mean, really, what's the point of all this? If we've technically already arrived at the destination, why pretend we have to take this long, hard, and sometimes painful journey to get there?
Well, the answer our source gives is actually really beautiful. It's all for the experience. Think about it. Without time, there's no such thing as a process. No learning, no growing, no becoming. You just have the result. And without space, there's no journey, no adventure, no discovery. You're just at the destination. Without space-time, you can't have a story. So we're meant to see space-time not as a prison we're stuck in, but as a profound gift. It's the cosmic game board that makes life with all its richness possible. It's what allows us to feel that sweet ache of missing someone, and then that overwhelming joy of finally seeing them again.
All right, so what do we do with this incredible knowledge? How are we supposed to play this beautiful cosmic game while also staying awake to what it really is? Well, our source offers a few pretty practical ways to live in both of these worlds at the same time.
First, by practicing no self, which just means letting go of the ego, that little I that's always worrying about its own past and future. Second, by really living in the now, because the present moment is the only place where time truly stands still. Third, through love. As we've seen, real, unconditional love can literally dissolve that illusion of separation. And finally, through what's called self-consistency. That's when you find a sense of completeness inside yourself, so you don't need anything from the outside world. And when you don't need anything, you're free from its rules.
And all of this leads to this incredible way of being, the mindset of an awakened player. You get to be fully engaged in the game, enjoying the journey with all its ups and downs, but all the while you have this deep, quiet peace from knowing that on a fundamental level, you're already whole. You've already arrived.
And that kind of brings us full circle, back to the journey. Spacetime gives us a story, a process, a beautiful, messy, incredible game to play. And maybe, just maybe, realizing that and savoring every single moment of it is the whole point.